Are you angry about everything lately and asking yourself, why am I like this? Is it starting to affect your relationships, work, your peace? If it feels like you're always on edge and you don't recognize yourself anymore, this isn't random, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person. Today, we are going to talk about anger, not as a flaw, but as a signal and what it's actually trying to tell you. Hi, everyone. My name is Esther Barque. For over 21 years, I've been helping people remember who they truly are beneath the layers, stories, and noise of this lifetime and beyond, so that the real you can emerge, confident and free. Okay, let's get into this topic because I work with people who are high functioning, deeply responsible, hyper aware, the ones who keep the plates spinning up in the air. And something I see over and over again is this. When survival mode starts to unwind, when numbness begins to thaw, anger rises. And it can feel shocking because many of you were not allowed to be angry, especially Gen X women. We were taught to be agreeable, capable, pleasant, self-contained. So when anger comes up now, it feels wrong. It's embarrassing. It's out of character. But anger is not immaturity. It's not regression. It's energy. And if this resonates already with you, go ahead and like the video. It tells YouTube that this is a conversation more women need to hear. Let's ground this conversation so that it lands for you strongly and begins to create an inner shift. Survival mode doesn't just produce numbness. It produces fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Anger is the fight response. If your nervous system has been mobilized for years, holding everything together, bracing, pushing through, that energy doesn't disappear. It stores itself. And when your system finally feels even a little bit safer, that stored fight energy can rise up. Not because something is wrong, but because something is ready to move inside of you. The energy is ready to move. About 3 years ago, I went through a period, almost 9 months, where anger was my everyday baseline, and it was directed towards one person, someone very close to me. I had anger that they were not owning their impact on my and other people's lives. Anger that they didn't see how their choices affected me and others. Anger that I felt unloved, unprotected, unseen. And here's what was confronting. I had already done the work on this relationship. I had processed it. I had forgiven. I had grown. But when I was around this person again, I could feel that there were still layers present. While my anger was partially about what was happening in the moment, the core of my anger was decades old. I was feeling and expressing the anger of the 2-year-old child within me, the 8-year-old, 11-year-old, 18-year-old, the 32-year-old. I was expressing and feeling the anger of parts of me that still had questions that would never be answered in a way that satisfied me. And that realization was pivotal because I had to choose. Do I keep holding on to the anger, knowing that I may never get the apology or understanding that I want and need? Or do I let it go? Not because they earned it, but because I no longer want to carry it. But before I could let it go, I had to honor it. I exercised aggressively. I swam hard. I hiked and I stomped around. I lifted weights. I cried and I shouted. And as I did all of those action steps, I consciously told my body, we are releasing all of this anger now. But the deeper work I had to do was beyond the physical release. It was internal. I turned inward toward my angry parts. I listened to them. I let them speak. I gave them a voice. And what I discovered was this. Underneath the anger was grief. Grief for the childhood I didn't have. Grief for protection, stability, acceptance, love that I didn't receive. Grief for dreams that didn't unfold the way I wanted them to. You see, anger is often unexpressed grief, and grief is vulnerable, and anger is powerful. So the system chooses anger. If you have found yourself in a state where you are angry all the time right now, it's usually not about what is happening today. Today might be the trigger of that anger, but chronic anger often signals suppressed or unrespected boundaries, resentment from overgiving to everyone, always feeling like you're not enough, survival energy that was never discharged, betrayal that was swallowed instead of processed in a healthy way, and grief that was postponed. I see this constantly in my clients. Women who are the strong ones, the reliable ones, the ones everyone leans and counts on. And they start to resent it and say things like, I'm the one who keeps everything together. I'm the one that people depend on. No one shows up for me, but I show up for everyone else. I feel like I'm responsible for everyone's happiness. And because they don't express that resentment early on, it hardens into anger. Or here's another layer of what might be happening. Consciously, you know that you are enough. But there are younger parts of you that still believe that you are not. And when those parts get activated, when something triggers that old belief, I am not enough, anger rises up. Because on some level, you know it's not true. There's a friction between who you logically know you are and who your nervous system and your subconscious parts were trained to believe you were, and that friction feels like anger. So what is anger signaling to you? In my practice, I've discovered it's usually one of three things. Number one, your system has been in survival mode too long. Two, there is grief that has not been metabolized. Three, there are boundaries, internal or external, that were never honored. Anger is not the flaw, it's the alarm. And alarms are meant to wake you up, not to shame you. So if this sounds familiar to you and true to you, where do you begin? Not by suppressing it, not by exploding it outward on people, but by honoring your anger. Step one is recognize this is a signal, not a personality trait, not a moral failure. It's a signal. Step two, ask yourself, what is the anger pointing to? Is it exhaustion, resentment, grief, an old wound that's resurfacing because you're finally strong enough to face it? And step three, and this is where the deeper work happens. You turn inward, not to analyze, but to connect. Connect to the part of you that feels angry, to the age that feels angry, like the 8-year-old within. And connect to the belief that is the anger of all this anger. Because when we shift the belief, I'm not enough, I don't matter, no one protects me, no one loves me, I have to do everything myself. When those beliefs shift, the entire emotional system reorganizes, including the anger. You see, the anger doesn't need to be managed. Managing anger is symptom therapy or symptom relief. When you address anger at the root cause, it dissolves and transforms. If the information in this video has resonated with you, if you're recognizing that your anger might be a symptom of something deeper, I invite you to watch my video where I explain the full process of how core beliefs shape your emotional state and how real change happens, complete with client success stories. It is linked below. Watch that first. And if after watching it, you feel aligned and curious about working with me, you are welcome to email me to explore the right next step. And if you already feel clear and ready about working together, you can book a free 20-minute alignment call. I work with women who are ready and willing to take responsibility for real internal change. And before you go, the video that's popping up on your screen right now is about living in survival mode and how you can get your spark back. If this conversation connected for you, that one will deepen it. I'll see you over there.